this is my thesis. This is, I do tell people this every now and then when I get in a mood about it, and I do get in a mood about it. But I think it is also pertinent to point out at this specific point in time that it's important that you as a viewer make sure that you don't, like, idolize any one company in your head too much. I mean, I think this is just a good rule of life. Corporations are not your friend kind of deal. But no, because I've seen a lot of people, and I don't want to go too far into speculation here. I'm not trying to, like, make any conspiracy theories or any nonsense. I'm kind of concerned that this is going to get clipped and then people are going to be like, opinion bad. I'm like, yeah, well, most of my opinions aren't great. But, I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, VShojo was bad. And oh, like, these other companies, they've done these things, but Hololive is still good. And I'm kind of concerned, because we also don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. It could be fine. It could be fine. We don't know. The problem is that we don't know. I think, as fans, you probably only have the ability to see about 5% of what's going on. It feels like you can see more. That's most icebergs. That's what most icebergs are like, yeah. Or there's gonna be some other company where it's like, well, VShojo did this, but this company, they never seem like they do that. And VShojo didn't seem like they were going to not pay out $500,000 of charity money either. It always... You need to be at least a little bit suspicious. Like, don't... I'm not saying, like, you can't support any agency. I'm just saying, like, be careful when you do. And you can be surprised when a bad thing happened, but don't be like, you know... Don't say it's never going to happen. Because we just don't have the information. I mean, yeah, I don't want to speculate on anything that's going on in any agency, because it's not my fucking place, but... I think it is... I think... How am I trying to put this? I think we do owe it to, like, the people who work in those industries, in those agencies, sorry. I think we do owe it to the people in these agencies who are under, like, NDA and stuff. The talents, the staff, the contractors, like artists who work with them. I think we do owe it to them to have at least a little bit of skepticism when it comes to stuff like this. Because it's very difficult for them to speak out when things are going bad. Yeah, NDAs. If you are working with someone and you're under an NDA and you have the slightest suspicion that they might be litigious, you are very careful about things. And that is usually the right way to go about an NDA, in all honesty, but like, when something bad is happening, what if I'm going to get sued for telling the truth does become a real concern. Because it's all good, it's all well and good that the truth is out there, but if you've been bankrupted by legal fees and you can't put food on the table, then at a certain point you do have to look out for yourself in order to do more good in the world. You know, you can't, this is something I've been told a lot, and I think it is good advice. And the person who told it to me knows who they are, but you can't set yourself on fire just to keep others warm, right? Like, these people need to be able to protect themselves before they are able to help protect others. Like a capital S situation when, because I think I am allowed to speak on this because it was public and I did speak on it whilst it was happening. Idol was in a situation a few years ago where someone had to come out publicly and state I was not paid by the company. And I know, actually, I remember that I'm allowed to talk to them about this because I talked to my manager and they, my personal manager at the time, and they said that I was allowed to publicly comment on it. And I said a thing like, if any artists haven't been paid, then you can talk to me. I don't think, luckily, anything came from that. That's the best case scenario. I think everyone was paid by the time that I made that post. Or everyone was in the process of getting... I can't speak on that anymore, because let's be real, I won't remember properly. But it's like the reason people have to make like Google Docs about that is because it is difficult to speak up. And if you speak up and you don't get the right level of attention as well, then you've just broken NDA and you've got nothing to show for it and you're kind of screwed. So it's, yeah, I think we do owe it to everyone who works in this industry who has the chance of being stifled by an NDA to at least approach companies with, like, good faith, but not an unrealistic level of trust. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes in any company. If I do know something, like, either I'm not allowed to say it, or it's not my place to say it. Because, like, I do talk to people, I do know things. It's not my fucking story to tell, like... Jesus Christ, you can't be gossiping like that.